Familiar with,
They couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
I gotta start over.
Mhm.
All right, well, good morning. Before we start, I've already read the PC sheet, court services notes, risk assessment, and other information in the file of each individual this morning. So you do not have to go through the probable cause sheet for me. Obviously, I'm interested in criminal history and failure to appear and failure to comply. All right, first individual is going to be Salvador Roman Hernandez. We have an interpreter.
Yes, I'm here.
You want to identify yourself for the record and your credential?
Thank you. Yes. My name is Luis. Interpreter ID number 416311 for Spanish.
All right. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's ready.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Just want to remind everyone, we do have an interpreter, so we need to speak slowly. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is it okay?
Yes, you can start interpreting now.
Thank you. Is it okay if I introduce myself to the person that speaks
Yes.
Spanish?
Yes.
Thank you. Hola, buenos días. Yo seré su intérprete el día de hoy. Para efectos de entrenamiento y calidad en el servicio, esta llamada puede ser monitoreada. Es un orgullo servirle. Muy buenos días. I'm ready for your instructions, Your Honor.
All right, are we ready? State?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, Your Honor, the state in this case is asking for $10,000 bondable bail
Ujú. Su señoría, en este caso, el Estado está pidiendo por una fianza de $10,000
with alcohol testing, pretrial services, and no contact with Marcia Neher.
con que se le tienen que estar haciendo las pruebas de alcohol y servicios previos al juicio y no contactos con Marshall Nehel o Nehel.
And no contact with minors EG, FG, and AG.
He contado con los menores EG, SGG y AG
And to stay away from 8419 Sopwith Boulevard.
y que se mantenga alejado del 8419 Southwest Boulevard.
Your Honor, the state is asking this based on the accusations and the significant charges in this case.
Señoría, el Estado lo está pesando basado en la significancia de las acusaciones y en los cargos.
Your Honor, the state indicates that the defendant does not have any criminal history.
Señoría, el Estado indica que el acusado no tiene ningún antecedente penal.
However, the state is concerned for the safety of the community.
Sin embargo, el Estado está preocupado por la seguridad de la comunidad.
Your Honor, the state did speak with the victim and she does want a no contact order.
Sí, señoría, el Estado habló con la víctima y la víctima quiere una orden de no contacto.
She indicated that she is not afraid at this time and she has no other safety concerns.
Want to interpret, Mr. Interpreter?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is your interpreter speaking. I'm a little bit confused. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm going to ask the deputy DA to repeat that for the interpreter.
Yes, Your Honor. The state indicates the victim indicated that she at this time does not have any safety concerns, but
El Estado indica que, bueno, la víctima, la persona nos indica que en este momento no tiene miedo y no tiene ninguna preocupación de seguridad.
However, she did indicate that she will want someone with her at all times, which tells the state that there is still some fear.
Sin embargo, nos indicó que a ella le gustaría tener alguien con ella en todo momento, lo cual el Estado indica que todavía tiene miedo.
She also told us that the defendant does have issues with drinking. He has been drinking too much.
Ujú. También nos dijo que el acusado está teniendo problemas con la bebida, que está bebiendo mucho.
And she wants him to work on himself, and he needs to do this for him and the kids.
Y que ella también nos indicó que tiene que trabajar en sí mismo, que tiene que hacerlo por él y para los niños.
And so, Your Honor, the state is asking monetary bail to ensure the safety of the community. And as you read, the violent facts of this case.
Right.
Su señoría, el Estado está pidiendo por una fianza monetaria por la seguridad de la comunidad, como usted leyó la violencia en el caso.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor.
¿Tienen una respuesta?
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking with Mr. Roman Hernandez,
Su señoría, hablando con el señor Roman Hernández,
he does work as a foreman in a warehouse.
trabaja como un foreman en una bodega.
And he can stay somewhere else if released. He does not stay at that residence where the incident happened.
Ujú. Y si es liberado, él se puede quedar en algún otro lugar, no se va a quedar en esa residencia.
I would like to point out that his NPRA score was only a 3.
Y también me gustaría apuntar que su puntuación solamente dio un 3,
with the only points coming from employment and residence.
Please interpret.
los únicos puntos viniendo del empleo y la residencia.
I'd also like to point out that based on the MPRA, this is his first arrest at 44 years old.
Y también me gustaría apuntar, basado en el INTERRE, que este es su primer arresto a los 44 años de edad.
So I think there are some conditions that can be fashioned to ensure safety of the community.
Puede haber algunas condiciones que podemos para poder asegurar la seguridad de la comunidad.
One could potentially no contact with the alleged victim.
La primera es de que podemos poner una orden de contacto con la víctima alegada.
Except for
Mr. Interpreter, you have a really bad connection. It's very staticky.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Say that again?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Give me 1 second.
It's like a headset, but every
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, as I was saying, I think a no contact order would be appropriate, except for talking about the child that they have in common.
Como lo estaba diciendo, parece una orden de no contacto sería apropiada, excepto por el niño que tienen en común.
With that, I'll submit, Your Honor.
Con eso sería todo, su señoría.
So I want to confirm, were you able to verify his employment?
Quiero confirmar si ustedes pudieron verificar su empleo.
Your Honor, these are just based on his representations because he did not have any phone numbers or anybody to call.
Su señoría, estos solamente son los estados de representación porque no tenía ningún número de teléfono para llamar.
And where is the place where he would live?
¿Y dónde está el lugar donde él va a vivir?
Con mi hermana.
My sister.
Nada más.
He would live with his sister, Your Honor. Do you have an address?
What's
Va a
the
vivir con
address?
sus hermanos, señoría.
310, 310 Wobbler.
Okay, yeah, you can just tell them.
310 Wobbler Way.
310 Flower Way,
Reno.
Reno.
They need the
89502.
interpreter to have him spell the name of the street.
Is it Flower Way?
Wobbler.
¿Puede deletrear el nombre de la
W-A-
calle?
You can just
Okay.
spell it.
Es W-A-R B de burro L-E-R. Way.
W for whiskey, A for alpha, R for Romeo, B for Bravo, L for Lima, E for Echo, R for Romeo. Way.
Mr. Interpreter, I'm sorry, can you spell that for me again?
Yes, Your Honor. W for whiskey, A for alpha, R for Romeo, B for Bravo, L for Lima, E for Echo, R for Romeo.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Let me ask the state this question. Are you okay with him calling regarding the children?
Déjele hago una pregunta al Estado. ¿Usted está de acuerdo referente a que pueda llamar a los niños?
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor, if it's just through phone calls and it's only about the children.
Sí, su señoría, si es por una llamada telefónica y solamente si es sobre los niños.
All right. So he does have a low risk assessment. Please interpret.
Una evaluación de bajo riesgo.
Is his first arrest, it looks like. Please interpret.
Este es su primer arresto.
I am gonna set his bail, however, at only 2,500.
Voy a poner su fianza, sin embargo van a ser 2,500.
No contact
No
with
contacto.
Marcia. Okay. Again, no contact
co-
with Marcia Nahir. Please interpret.
Y no contacto con Marsha Nefir
With the 3 minor children, FC, AG, EG.
ujú, y con los 3 menores ST, AG y EG.
Excuse me, it's FG, not FC.
I'm sorry, it's FG.
Correct. And the property 8419 Stopwith Boulevard.
Y en la propiedad de 8419 de Stockwood Boulevard.
And the only time he can contact Marcia is to call regarding the children.
El único
Dice-
momento donde puede contactar a Marsha es referente a los niños.
I'm lowering the bail in exchange for residential confinement fitted before release. Please interpret.
Voy a bajar la fianza para una confinación residencial antes de que pueda ser aliviado o liberado.
He'll be subject to alcohol testing. Please interpret.
Va a estar sujeto a pruebas de alcohol,
Pretrial supervision,
supervisión previa al juicio,
and before his release, court services must verify he can live with his sister at
y antes de,
310. Okay,
I'm sorry,
go ahead, verify he can live with his sister, please interpret.
¿Mm? Y los servicios de la corte tienen que verificar que pueda vivir con la hermana
At 310 Warbler Way, Reno, Nevada.
en el 310 Warburg Way en Reno, Nevada.
All right, so that will be my judicial release order. Thank you, Mr.
Esa
Interpreter.
va a ser, thank you, Your Honor. Esa va a ser mi orden judicial. Thank you, Your Honor. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that's it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for using our services, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
All right. Next is Juan Mena, followed by Anthony Hale.
Yeah, Your Honor, I believe Mr. Mena was continued from yesterday. He did refuse to come again today. I would just ask for I don't think we were able to talk with them, so maybe an interim bail.
There you go, right?
Okay. The state have a suggestion with respect to interim bail?
Your Honor, the state would ask for $10,000 bondable as an interim bail with pretrial services supervision.
That the only condition?
I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't have this. Yes, Your Honor, I believe that's,
Yeah, it's battery by a prisoner.
yeah, that's the only condition I'd be asking.
Okay, so we'll set the interim bail, $10,000, pretrial services supervision. Okay. Next is Anthony Hale. Then Paul Brummett, and then Tiana Johnson. All right. They want to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for monetary bail in the amount of $10,000 with pretrial services supervision if the defendant posts. In this case, the defendant scores a 12 on the MPRA. His criminal history reflects a 2025 felony conviction for burglary of a business, which the underlying facts of that case is similar, that when law enforcement appeared, the defendant was naked as well. In 2024, he has a misdemeanor conviction for ONR and possession of drug paraphernalia. He has another conviction that year for resisting and trespassing. He has a felony arrest out of California for robbery in 2023 with no disposition, a misdemeanor conviction for resisting again in 2022. Has convictions from 2021 of trespassing, possession of drug paraphernalia, felony conviction from 2018, felon or addict in possession of firearm. He has domestic battery convictions from 2017, 2015, 2013, 2011, and 2010. Your Honor, his criminal history goes all the way back to 1999. I won't go through each and every one. They do include arrests and convictions for DUIs and batteries. And he does have parole violations from 2009 and 2010. So the state is asking for monetary bail to be set in this case.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hale is staying at the CARES campus. He does not have a job or a phone. He would come to court if he knew about the dates in advance. So I'd be asking for an OR release that he can stay at the CARES campus.
Well, that's not gonna happen with his criminal history and his risk assessment. I'm gonna set his bail at $10,000. He'll be subject to testing, shall not possess firearms or weapons, pretrial services supervision. All right, out into the facts of this case. All right.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the street name?
Yeah, is that?
Oh,
Sorry,
or it's WAR, Ward, but
Warbler, okay.
yeah, that's the way.
So we'll spell on that one, you didn't write it, 10,000.
I always put it at the top.
Thank you.
Okay, Next is Paul Brummett. All right, is the state ready to proceed with Mr. Brummett?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the state would not object to an OR release with pretrial services supervision and controlled substance testing. The defendant scores a 4 on the MPRA, and the criminal history, all I see is a 2014 felony conviction for marijuana for sale out of Arizona. However, I have no indication that the defendant has a failure to appear. The only concern the state has is that he resides in California, but if he is able to make his court dates and continue to check in and find testing, the state would not oppose an OR.
All right. So let me ask the public defender, just give me a moment when were you able to, it looks like they verified his place of residence and phone number. Were you able to verify that he is employed as a network engineer?
Yes, so we contacted his son. He said he does work at some sort of consulting business. He works remote. He does come up here quite often as his kids live in, or one of his kids lives in Grass Valley, California. But yes, we verified his address and his employment.
All right.
Same residence time.
All right, so just bear with me on this so I can amend my JRO. Let me ask the state, you did not add any testing?
Oh, I did request testing. If I did not, I meant to. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and release him based on his risk assessment. He will be subject to testing. And he'll have pretrial services supervision. So you're being released, sir, but you need to comply with your conditions, or you'll be right back here. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Make sure you put your card.
August 26th is an arraignment.
He makes good money. All right. Next is Tiana Johnson, followed by Mitchell Regas.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. Stay ready to proceed.
Yeah,
Yes, Your Honor, the state is ready. In this case, Your Honor, the defendant, based on both charges being misdemeanors, or the state is not objecting to an OR with pretrial services and testing based on the MPRA score I recognize is an 8. However, her failure to comply, or I believe for payment, they're not failure to appears. She does have a pending warrant out of Reno Justice Court for a 2024 case. However, her criminal history reflects a 2024 misdemeanor conviction for leave pet attended in a vehicle with a fine. And I only see 2008 and 2009 possession of drug paraphernalia. So I believe with testing, if she remains sober, then she would be able to comply, and based on the misdemeanor charges, the state would not object to that at this time.
So the court services notes, as well as the risk assessment, said she was overridden to a higher risk, obviously due to history of failing to handle court matters. But it also said, including a pending warrant. Are there any outstanding warrants?
I apologize, Your Honor, court's indulgence. Yes, Your Honor, it looks like the pending warrant is for RCR 2024-127588. It
Correct.
is, and that is the allow pet to remain unattended in vehicle, which was a fine.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. All right. And then let me ask the Public Defender's Office, were you able to verify her place of residency is 145 Sergey Street, I believe?
So I believe, Your Honor, that's where her mom lives, but the reference that she gave us, her boyfriend, we were not able to get a hold of him. We had to leave a message, so we didn't, I'm not able to verify that, but that is based on her representation. That's her address.
Is that where she's gonna reside?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what's that street address?
145 Sergey, Sun Valley, Nevada.
Oh, I thought that was your mom's address or your boyfriend's address.
No, that's my mother's address. I'm staying there.
The boyfriend was who we tried to contact to verify, but we couldn't get a hold of him.
Got it. All right. So you will be released. You'll be subject to testing. All right, you must reside at the 145 Sergey Street. All right, so we know where you are at all times. And you'll be subject to pretrial services supervision. All right, miss?
Okay, thank you.
Unless you have other holds.
Okay. All right. Next is Mitchell Regas, followed by Michael David Brooks.
Here's Regis's.
Yeah. We had a few of those today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, stay ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking in this case for $5,000 bondable with pretrial services, supervision, and testing. The defendant scores a 10 on his MPRA. He does have an open case. In his criminal history reflects failure to appears and probation violations from 2021. He actually has multiple. He has 4 failure to appears from that year. From 2020, he has a failure to appear after bail, criminal contempt. And in terms of his convictions, he has possession of drug paraphernalia convictions, gross misdemeanor conviction for manufacturing dangerous weapon out of the 3rd Judicial District Court from 2020, a 2010 aim firearm at person, gross misdemeanor conviction out of Fernley, and a DUI misdemeanor arrest out of Lyon County with no disposition. He also has a 2008 DUI conviction and a possession of a controlled substance felony conviction from 2004. His criminal history dates back to 1998 with a felony conviction of possession of a controlled substance for sale and a misdemeanor conviction for felon addict with firearm. And I believe
That's where I had my son.
Sorry, sir, you need to be quiet.
so Your Honor, the state is asking for monetary bail to be set in this case.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. So the MPRA score is a 10, but we were able to verify some information to, I think, lower that score. We were able to contact his in-laws. He does live with them in Cold Springs. And we were able to get an address that he's lived at for at least the last 3 years. They're saying that he can return there. Also, while he doesn't work, he's supported by his in-laws. He keeps their home up and their yard clean. They kind of support him, it sounds like. He also, as he said and pointed out that all of those prior charges were before he had his son, who is now 15 years old. I know that this is just a PCS. It's kind of a low-level possession charge. So I'd be asking for an OR release with pretrial services testing and check-ins based on the charges and the lower MPRA score.
You said he's able to reside with his in-laws? Were you able to
Yes.
verify the address?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is it?
It's 18570 Northridge Avenue. It's up in Cold Springs, Your Honor.
All right. Let me go back to the state. I understand that he's indicated most of his criminal history was more than 15 years ago. It's not accurate, is it?
Yes.
No, Your Honor. He did have a gross misdemeanor conviction for manufacture possessed dangerous weapon in 2020, which was 6 years ago.
All right, so I'm gonna set his bail at $3,000. All right, no contact with his co-defendant, Mary Furpo. He'll be subject to testing, shall not possess firearms or weapons, must reside with his in-laws, 18570 Northridge Avenue in Cold Springs. And he'll be subject to pretrial services monitoring, pretrial services supervision. All right.
No.
Okay, how about Michael Brooks?
Three thousand. All right. Okay. So, Your Honor, I did speak with Mr. Brooks. He did waive his appearance today. We can proceed.
All right. Stay ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask for either $5,000 bondable or an own recognizant release into treatment. If he posts the bail, we'd ask for pretrial services supervision and testing for drugs. The defendant scores an 11 on the MPRA. He has a 1 for the failure to appear. His criminal history reflects a possession of drug paraphernalia case in Reno Municipal Court from 2025. He has possession of drug paraphernalia in 2023. He has a misdemeanor conviction for resisting where in 2022 with a failure to appear at arraignment, but a bench warrant was issued. His OR was revoked in that case, and a 2018 misdemeanor conviction for drinking in public with a failure to appear at arraignment and bench warrant issued. So the state would be asking for some type of monetary bail or an OR with very restrictive treatment.
All right, do we have a response?
Your Honor, that was going to be our request as well, so I'll submit.
So the state is suggesting a direct transport, IAP,
Yes, Your Honor.
to an inpatient facility.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, boy. All right, so as I understand, the state is suggesting the $5,000 bail, or he's able to get a bed at an inpatient facility. It would be a direct transport to that inpatient facility as an exception to the $5,000 bail. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, also subject to testing and then pretrial services supervision. The other condition I had was no contact with the co-defendants, Jacobia and Gomez. I should say Sacobia and Gomez. All right. Are we good? This one. All right. Okay. Next is Isaias Escalera, followed by Angelica Gomez. All right, is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. The state in this case is asking for $5,000 bondable and pretrial services supervision with testing, and a no firearms clause. The defendant has an open case in CR 26-1062. While having that case, he picked up this case. He has a 2025, and that's for attempted grand larceny of a motor vehicle, where he was given specialty court, and it looks like he failed to appear, and a warrant was issued recently, just recently in July. He also has a failure to appear at arraignment warrant from 2025 for citation of driving without a valid driver's license and no insurance out of Sparks Justice Court. He doesn't have any other adult criminal history. However, it looks like he has had contact in the past with law enforcement. So the state is asking for some monetary bail to ensure the appearance of the defendant at future court dates.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Escalera Arias is 20 years old. He does not currently have a job, but he does live with his mom. We were able to verify his address. She did say that he could come back to that home. I understand that there's the failure to appear and he's gonna have to deal with that. I think nominal bail on this and the amount of 1,000 is appropriate, or an OR release so that he can take care of that PMP hold that he has. And I would just request that with pretrial services, testing and check-ins.
And is the place where he can live 9528 Nautical Mile Road?
Correct, Your Honor.
Oh, he does have limited history. I mean, he's obviously had active supervision. And then he's got a PNP hold, but I'm gonna set his bail at $3,000. All right, be subject to testing, shall not possess firearms or weapons, must reside at 9528 Nautical Mile Road. And they'll be subject to supervision by pretrial services. Okay, next is Angelica Gomez, followed by Paul Janot. All right, stay ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for $5,000 bondable with pretrial services supervision and testing. It looks like the defendant scores a 9 on the MPRA. She has an open case in California. She's only been in the area for 2 days, and her ties to the community are are not strong as she lives in Modesto. She has a criminal history that includes a 2023 possession of drug paraphernalia conviction, a 2020 trespassing conviction, a 2024 possession of drug paraphernalia conviction as well. And in 2015, she has a possession of drug paraphernalia, an appropriate lost property. That's just an arrest. I don't have a disposition on that out of California. She also has a 2017 shoplifting arrest with no disposition and a 2018 possession of controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia arrest. So, Your Honor, due to her lack of ties to the community and her MPRA score of 9, the state is asking for monetary bail.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. Speaking with Ms. Gomez, she could stay with a friend if she's released. I do understand her MPRA score is higher, but she did confirm she's not working. She did come from Modesto. She does have a phone number, but we weren't able to independently verify that. So my ask today would be nominal bail or an OR release. I think it would also be appropriate that if you were going to grant her bail, that you would maybe direct transport her to an inpatient facility if she qualifies.
And what's the address? Is this address she can reside in Washington County or back in Modesto?
Modesto.
It's in Modesto, Your Honor.
I have a way back out here. She'll give me a ride.
It looks like they were not able to verify. Just bear with me here. What information was the PD's office able to verify?
So we weren't able to verify anything. She didn't have any phone numbers. These are just her representations.
Right, right. All right, given her history, criminal history, I am gonna set her bail at $5,000. No contact with the co-defendants, which is Brooks and Sokovia. She'll be subject to testing, pretrial services supervisions. All right,
Oh, no.
Paul Janot is next. Sorry. All right, stay ready to proceed on Mr. Is it correctly,
How are you saying it?
Janot.
correct pronunciations, Janot?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, you're right.
All right, stay ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking in this case for $1,000 bondable with pretrial services supervision. This is based on the defendant's MPRA score of 8, his suspended sentence in the Reno Justice Court, his 2026 failure to pay, a 2025 misdemeanor conviction for possession of drug paraphernalia. He has the 2011 felony conviction for attempt sexual assault in the 5th Judicial District Court and a 2006 misdemeanor conviction for disorderly conduct. So the state is asking for a low amount of bail, but for monetary bail to be set.
All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking with Mr. Janot, he's 40 years old. He doesn't currently work, but he does have an interview on Tuesday for a local car wash. I'd also like to point out he does get disability. So he's been told that he can only work so much. So he can only work part-time. He does get Medicaid and food stamps. He does stay at the CARES campus. We weren't able to call anybody as he didn't have any numbers. And I usually don't get into the facts of the case, but I find this interesting that they thought he had a warrant and he didn't, which I guess leads to this resisting, which is also, I'd like to point out, a misdemeanor. So any sort of bail is gonna be de facto detention. He only gets $994 a month from SSI. So he won't be able to afford the $1,000 bail. I'd be asking for an OR release with pretrial services, check-ins, Your Honor.
Yeah, I did see that in the PC sheet. Yeah, I'm gonna set his bail at $500 or 10% cash. All right, he'll be subject to pretrial services supervision. All right, and again, let me, before we move on, from this case, was there, what was the most recent drug activity with this individual?
Your Honor, I see misdemeanor conviction for possession of drug paraphernalia in 2025.
All right, so he'll be subject to testing, must reside at the CARES campus
He's already made his
and
decision.
pretrial services supervision.
It's $50.
I can't do any of them.
Okay,
The first time.
next is
If you are.
Lawrence Johnson.
No, it's $500. $500 bill.
So what I do?
Well, you're gonna have to wait until the first, I guess.
Oh, to go to the first?
Yeah.
Yeah, court next week. Okay.
All right, we need to move on.
You have court next week.
What day?
I don't know, what did he say?
All right, stay ready to proceed with Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state is asking, or the state is not objecting to a own recognizance release for Mr. Johnson based on his 5 on the MPRA score and the possession of a controlled substance felony charge and the drive with revoked. His criminal history shows that he hasn't had anything since 2003. He does have a failure to appear for a traffic warrant recently. And I do believe that his last case he had was similar. It was possession of drug paraphernalia and operate an unregistered vehicle, which he was sentenced to just recently in June. So, but Your Honor, I don't have an indication that he doesn't appear for his court dates at this time. So that's the reason the state is not asking for or is not objecting to an OR release.
Yeah, it actually flagged Mr. Johnson as a potential OR release. Looks like they verified his address and employment. Was the public defender, did you also verify his address and employment?
Yes, Your Honor. We verified that with, I believe it was his sister.
All right. All right, so Mr. Johnson, you're gonna be released based on your risk assessment. You'll be subject to testing. The other condition is I want you to reside at 1895 Carville Drive. You still reside there, right, sir?
Yes. Yes, I
All right,
do.
and you'll be subject to pretrial services supervision. All right,
Okay.
we have a date.
August 26th.
August 26th is his date.
I don't know. That's a different.
All right, how about
We'll have to see.
Tucker
We'll have to go
LaRue?
to court Monday.
On the bench warrant?
Yeah.
Is it bail?
Pay for the warrant.
Yeah, Monday for the warrant.
Is it bail?
Yeah, I'll tell you right here.
Okay.
All right, Mr. LaRue followed
Bail?
by Dennis Lewis.
And Your Honor, is that spelled Larve?
I believe it's a U.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
LaRue.
LaRue. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I apologize, court's indulgence. Your Honor, in this case, the state is asking for a low monetary bail of $3,000 with pretrial services supervision. The defendant scores a 10 on the MPRA. He has, his most recent case was a trespassing, from 2024 conviction. He has 2023 petty larceny, 2 misdemeanor convictions, a 2021 battery conviction, and a 2019 trespassing conviction. So, based on the facts of the case where the defendant is threatening law enforcement to kill them and his high MPRA score, the state is asking for some monetary bail.
All right. Do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. So in speaking with Mr. LaRue, any sort of bail is going to be de facto detention. He did represent that he works at Urban Outfitters, but he does live at the CARES campus. He didn't have any numbers so that we could verify the information. So based on all of that, I'd be asking for an OR release with pretrial services check-ins.
All right. So you were not able to verify any of his information?
No, he didn't have any numbers.
All right.
Call.
It indicates in the PC sheet that he had stated to officers that he was recently kicked out of where he was staying with his dog. Was that the CARES campus or 610 Line Drive?
It's like a 48. So by the time I get out of here, I should be able to come back.
Okay. Yes, it was a 48-hour kind of sit out, it sounds like, but sounds like he can go back there.
At the CARES campus?
Yes.
So this Line Drive is not a good address at this point?
So tell them that the Line Drive it's technically the CARES campus. They're just 2 separate buildings.
Oh, that is still the CARES campus, Your Honor. It's just a separate building. They have multiple buildings there.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I just didn't know. I have not seen that address before.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna set his bail. Because I think some bail is appropriate in this case at $1,000 or 10% cash. Shall not possess firearms or weapons. Other conditions is he must reside at CARES campus and he'll be subject to pretrial services supervision. The PC sheet indicates that this confrontation was based on him abusing his dog. If they confirmed, at least the officers indicated in the PC sheet, that the dog did not show any signs of abuse. So obviously he shouldn't have said that. So his bail will be set at 1,000. All right.
So is it at 10%?
Yeah. Okay, Brad, 10%.
Okay. Would you be able to verify?
Next is Dennis Lewis,
You should be able to.
What's your card?
then followed by Valentine, I believe it is Saruhan.
Good morning.
All right, are we ready to proceed with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for $10,000 bondable in this case for pretrial services supervision and no contact with Nicholas Rendasso. Your Honor, the state's asking for this based on the violent nature of the facts. Also, the defendant scores a 7 on his MPRA. The ties to the community are not strong as he's only been in the area for 2 months. His criminal history reflects a domestic battery conviction out of Las Vegas in 2020. He has criminal history dating back to 2009 from Louisiana, including issuing worthless checks and a domestic battery in 2009 with no disposition. He has a 2011 arrest for thefts and damage to property out of Louisiana with no disposition. He has a 2000 contempt of court arrest out of Louisiana and a domestic battery arrest with no disposition, and a 2013 domestic battery arrest out of Louisiana for no disposition. So based on his the lack of ties to the community, his moderate NPRA score, and his criminal history that reflect violent convictions, as well as the violent actions in this case that are alleged, the state is asking for monetary bail.
They got the wrong Dennis Lewis.
All right, that's enough, sir. All right, do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. So, in speaking with Mr. Lewis, he does work part-time as a truck driver. That's why he's here. He's here working for an asphalt company. He's been here for the last 3 or 4 months. He's also been staying at the Easy Inn where this incident happened. And he did give us a phone number. So I think his MPRA score is somewhat inflated. I think it would be more on the low side with this new information that we have. Also, the facts of the case sounds like there was some racial slurs thrown around. I understand that he's the one that got arrested. I do understand that, but there's no failure to appears in his history as far as I can see. And it sounds like most of his criminal history is fairly remote, with the last conviction being that domestic battery from 6+ years ago. So I'd be asking for an OR release with any other conditions that you would find appropriate.
Oh, well, it looks like they caught most of this on a video. So the facts are concerning in this case. I'm gonna set his bail at $7,500. No contact with Nick Randazzo. Shall not possess firearms or weapons. He'll be subject to pretrial services supervision. All right,
Can I talk?
No.
sorry. All right, next is
So how much?
Valentine Saruhan,
500?
followed by Sheena Shepherd.
So I pay $750, I go home today?
Call the bail bondsman.
Don't kill it. Call
All
it.
right,
Okay.
All right, we're writing in phone.
state ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in this case, the state has kind of gone back and forth, but based on the defendant's MPRA score of 2 and the fact that his criminal history only reflects a 2023 DUI conviction, the state would not object to an own recognizance release with the condition that the defendant has no contact with the victim and DeLauren Kilpatrick, and that he does test for alcohol. This and considering that the facts of the case, although concerning because it's domestic violence related, I do see that there it was. I don't see any injuries to the victim, and the actions were essentially wrapping and holding her. So we did speak with the victim. She does want a no contact order. So I would ask that that's also a condition of NRS. She will be filing a TPO. When asked if she was afraid, she started crying. She's concerned, but doing her best to make arrangements. So he doesn't know where she is. He was calling her before temporary protective order, but then he stopped. The defendant did tell his brother to contact Andy to tell her, sorry, we had to meet on these conditions. My brother wanted me to tell you, he wants you to know he's okay, he's not mad, and he still loves you. So the state would ask that the defendant is admonished and understands that he cannot have any contact with the victim, even through other parties. The victim is unsure about any mental health or substance abuse. She didn't see him drinking much while they were together. She is concerned that he does have weapons, so I would ask for a no firearm or weapon clause. And with that, Your Honor, the state would submit.
Yes, the PD's office, were you able to verify his address?
No, Your Honor, but that incident where it happened is where he lives, not her. And she does not live with him.
Right, she has a separate address, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and then he lives at 1555 Princeton, correct?
Yes, and it looks like pretrial services did verify that.
That's interesting. Let me double check my notes.
And I only say that because I think it would have shown on his MPRA if it wasn't. His
I
score
agree.
would have been higher. Yeah.
You're correct. The reference did call back and confirm all three, address, employment, and phone number. All right, that's why you got it too. All right, so. So I am gonna OR you, sir. However, absolutely no contact with Andy Kilpatrick. Do you understand that, sir?
I understand.
All right, and that means it's also pursuant to statute. So if you do contact her, not only will you be put back in jail, but there'll be a separate crime attached to that. All right, a separate offense. All right, so not only will you lose your liberty, but you'll be arrested for a separate crime. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be subject to testing, shall not possess firearms or weapons, must reside at 1555 Princeton, and you'll be subject to pretrial supervision. All right? Next is Sheena Shepherd, followed by Babalu Waddell.
So, Your Honor, we did speak with Miss Shepherd, but she was not feeling well, so I just asked to continue one day.
All right? All right, so I'll keep this.
Okay.
We'll bring back Miss Shepherd. How about Babalu Waddell?
Well, Your Honor.
Then followed by Nathaniel Plummer. Okay, is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask for $5,000 bondable in this case with pretrial services supervision and testing. The defendant scores a 14 on his NPRA. He has a Reno Municipal Court case currently open. His criminal history reflects failure to appear from 2025. He has convictions for trespassing, petty larceny, and possession of drug paraphernalia from that year. He has 2022 and 2017 and 2015 misdemeanor convictions for possession of drug paraphernalia. He has a 2021 misdemeanor conviction for DUI. He has a felony conviction for possession of a controlled substance from 2017. And in 2014, he has a misdemeanor conviction for contempt, as well as petty larceny and possession of drug paraphernalia. He also has some other misdemeanor criminal history from earlier. However, I think the most recent criminal history reflects his substance abuse issues, and the state is concerned with his MPRA score so high of his appearance at future court dates.
All right. Do we have a response?
Yes, Your Honor. So I do understand the state's concern with the high MPRA score. In talking with him, he does live at the CARES campus. He is looking for a job. He is on Medicaid and food stamps. We did try to call a reference number that he gave us, but we were unable to get a hold of that person. Any sort of bail is going to be de facto detention. Also, these charges, I think as far as criminality go, it is a possession and a PDP charge. So not the most serious crimes that we've seen here, certainly. So I'd be asking for an OR release with pretrial services testing and check-ins. With that, I'll submit.
All right, well, not in this case, given his criminal history and his risk assessment, and then he also has no OR warrant out of Reno Municipal Court, so I'm gonna set his bail at 5,000. Will be subject to testing, shall not possess firearms or weapons, and they'll have pretrial supervision. All right, now, Mr. Plummer.
No.
Your Honor, Mr. Plummer did waive. I believe he's here on the fugitive, so I think we just are waiting for some paperwork, I believe.
Okay,
72-hour, August 14th.
all right, 72-hour, August 14th. And then I'm showing Mr. Plummer as the last individual. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thank
All
you,
right,
you
thank
too.
you.